going on, y'all? How you doing out there? It's your boy Curly, Officer Corleone. You know all my monikers, my nicknames. But listen, fuck the nicknames. Do you hear the birds chirping? That's really what I want to know. Because today is such a beautiful fucking day. I can't do nothing but smile. You know, I look back at times when, like just a few years back. Well, I can't say a few because, it's been quite some time, but years. I gotta throw in one of these. Because it's been at least 4, like I told you. 4 years since I've smoked cigarettes and since I've smoked weed. That is so huge. Like, listen, right now, if this was the past, I'd be high as fuck right now. Okay? And not only would I be high as fuck, I wouldn't be doing shit. I wouldn't be doing a goddamn thing. I'd be sitting on my ass right now at either one of my friend's house or my apartment, and I'd be trying to find the motivation to get off my ass and make some money. And the only thing that I'd be able to come up with is, who can I see that I can ask, hey, do you want to buy a CD? Or, just the cycle of going to a fast food restaurant and working a dead-end job, okay? I don't have those problems these days because I work at DoorDash, and that's not a dead-end job. I'm an independent contractor. I make my own hours. You can't beat it, okay? You're not flipping burgers, you're delivering food. But aside from that, I have a career. I have 3 LLCs that I'm molding into something. I'm very successful in music, but I'm not letting music confine me to that's all that I could do, Such a beautiful fucking day. And another thing is just like cigarettes, man. Like, do you know how often I used to smoke cigarettes? I used to just like it's oxygen or something. You don't know the freedom that I feel not being a slave to the cigarette companies, not being a slave to my own addiction. I was enslaved by my addiction to cigarettes. I was enslaved to my addiction to marijuana. I was enslaved to my addiction to laziness. I tell you what, man, past 4 years, I wake up the same time every fucking day, 5 o'clock in the morning, period. Up before the sunrise. I used to sleep during the day and be up all night. People ask me what's my secret. This young guy asked me what's my secret. What's my secret? He said, I heard you on the bus saying that you used to smoke cigarettes and you quit. How'd you do it? I said, it's different for everybody. But you gotta find the motivation. You gotta want to do it. If you want to do it, you'll do it on your own time. But let me tell you about the changing point, the turning point. I was coming from hanging out with my boy Chase, okay, at a mutual friend's house. We were going to the gas station to get a blunt wrap, okay? We both love to smoke, okay? I don't have a problem with smoking weed. I have a problem with being lazy. It affects people differently. For me, it'll motivate me, but then I'll get lazy. until I find the point where I could get over the laziness, I'm probably never gonna do it again. Okay? Because I don't like being lazy, especially at this age. This is the age where I really accomplish shit. This is the age of accomplishments. Okay? We're on our way to gas station. Okay? And I saw this guy in the back of a pickup truck. Well, it's one of my friends. And I said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, they were shoveling dirt on the back of a pickup truck, and they were leveling out the gravel, and by this gas station. I said, he says, "It's working. What does it look like?" Because it surprised me because he did a different type of work. He was more so a mechanic, and I just seen him doing some landscaping shit. I'm like, what is he doing landscaping? This guy's like a mechanic or something. He fixes cars, for himself. So I'm like, "Yo, who's the boss?" He's like, "There's him right over there." I'm like, "Ask him if I could help." He says, You got a mouth? Ask him." So I say, "Hey man, yo, that's my man up there, yo. Can I help you guys?" He said, "Sure. Grab a shovel." So we all start shoveling the dirt on the back of the truck and leveling the dirt, whatever. We got done. He paid me $10 right there. And it was just for 15 minutes of work. He says, "If you want to help tomorrow, I got lawnmowers, we're gonna cut grass all over. I do this." I'm like, "Yeah." From that point, I started working for the guy. I worked for that guy for 2 summers straight. I worked for that guy until I left that area. Great fucking job. I made almost $100 every day. On an average day, I make $60. Some days I made $100. You can't beat it. Just cutting grass. And I would smoke my weed, right? But then I came to a point, man, I gotta do something more than this, because the money that I made cutting grass, I would go into buying weed and buying women. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I used to buy fucking women. I was fucking up. But I stopped doing that, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to school. And I changed my fucking life. And here I am now. So many certificates later, I'm a fucking forensics officer. I work for myself. I got 3 LLCs. I made collaborations with phenomenal fucking artists, renowned artists, DJ Lazy K, Bizarre, Paula Perry. These are people that made hip hop. And I'm not a drug dealer rapper. I'm an MC cop. So I smashed generational curses. I beat addictions. I overcame being a lame, and I'm still here. Come on now. You can't fucking beat it. You can't fucking beat it. But that turning point, man. There was challenges. There was people like, "Oh, yo, you're gonna be a cop? What are you, snitching? You're gonna be a rat?" Like, I don't even fucking know these people. Trying to threaten my life. People tried to stab me, beat me up, shoot me. I faced people. I told them to put your guns away, or I'm gonna fucking put you in handcuffs. And they listened to me. Real ass. Because I was really gonna put them in handcuffs. You know what I mean? Like, under any occasion. It's not my job to handcuff nobody. I don't beat the cement. I'm a scientist. I work in a lab. I study autopsies. I give my expert opinion, and I get paid for it. If so. If not, then I'm looking for a job as an independent contractor. You know what I mean? I'm just perfecting my role. But if somebody threatens my life, what other choice do I have but to put you in handcuffs and then just wait for somebody whose job it is to put you in a can? You know what I mean? And it was a struggle because I lost my cool, doing that job, being a self-employed security guard, being a first-time self-employed forensics officer. I lost my cool and I showed my rear. I did things that were out of protocol. I slept in the streets. It's all right to sleep in a campsite, but I slept in the streets in my uniform. And you can't do that. That's a bad look. I'd yell at people with my handcuffs in the air. You know, you either cuff somebody or you don't. So, you know, my time away from the job, realizing some of the mistakes that I made, and saying, you know, what can I do to not repeat those mistakes? And, you know, I had to face the mirror, like, yo, these are certain things that I have to do, you know, to not do that. I can't let people antagonize me. I gotta learn to walk away. Even though I have the power to put them in cuffs, or, you know, these intelligent conversations to try to conversate them